This is Boxing Ticket tonight in association with our prize guy. We're here in Letterkenny for Rumble on the Hills. David joined me victorious Tiernan Bradley. I was just saying to you there off camera, before the stoppage came in the third round, you had him in bother and then he just came with this big barrage, but obviously he'd done damage previous in the second round, but third round stoppage win. Probably the perfect pick-me-up, obviously, after what happened to you earlier this year in York Hall.
Aye, definitely. I mean, he was no dozer himself. He was welterweight champion of Belgium, the Benelux champion, so Belgium, Netherlands and Luxembourg welterweight champion for 3 years in a row. You know, he's no dozer. He's been around the blocks, 13-9, decent welterweight, like, or 13-6, decent welterweight. So I was only 2 weeks notice that I really got on the show. So yeah, it was last minute. I was training away hard, even though I had my brother's wedding last week. And yeah, I'm just, to be honest, the only thing I'm thinking about now is just being there for Callum now, for his fight, and I'm looking forward to seeing him back in the ring, because I missed his last fight in the Devonish, so I would like to kind of be a part of this and help him whatever way I can.
Very special, obviously, week for the family. I was actually speaking to your brother Aaron earlier on. He's got no honeymoon booked. He's having a day out in the Gilgorm, but geez, Bradley just do a wee bit different. No honeymoons, just straight back into business.
Oh no, definitely. I think his daughter Harper was giving him some grief because he went to the Gilgorm and didn't take her. So he's took her up tonight, and it's her first boxing fight that she's been to. So I'm glad I was able to put on a little bit of a performance for her, and maybe we might see another Katie Taylor in the Bradley family.
Who knows? You know that the kids can be inspired so easily nowadays. Like, you sort of touched on the fact, obviously Callum headlining the card tonight. You sort of maybe taking a bit of his thunder here with the stoppage early on the night. But obviously I know you'd missed the Devonish fight last time out, and the Devonish I thought he was incredible. Played up to the crowd and really showed something different to him. And I seen him earlier on here tonight, and he's taking everything in his stride. Cool, calm and collected as he always is.
Look, trust me, I have to set the bar for Callum, because to be honest, Callum has been putting on some phenomenal performances. Like, everybody talks about it, even the top the Belfast guys, Paddy McCurry and all the lads, Sean McComb, they always talk about how Callum puts on such a great show and great fights as well. So I had to set the bar high for him, so it would be a really good ending to the night. So I'm hoping for him to get his first stoppage.
No pressure on now, is there?
No pressure, but at the same time, like, Callum's used to pressure. He's a really laid-back guy, so I don't think really pressure bothers him. I think he stays calm under pressure, and he's able to manoeuvre it and bring it to his advantage.
Me and you spoke obviously, and me and Callum spoke so many times over the last few years, and obviously the potential he's fighting on the same card together. Like Callum had said to me last week, the other day, I'm even forgetting what day of the week it is now, but he had obviously said this could potentially be a once in a year thing where you do Letterkenny together. Next time around you could both be fighting for belts, main and co-main event in the card. Like, this could really be a home for both of you moving forward.
Exactly. I mean, we spoke with Jason, we spoke with Cliff and the lads, and Jason spoke to my promotion as well, GBM. They've spoken about a few things, so it'll be very interesting to see what we can do here in Letterkenny. I mean, bring big nights back, kind of like what Paul McCluskey had done. He fought, I think he was for the European here.
European title.
I remember great nights back then, and I think there should be future nights back to Donegal, not just Letterkenny, but back to Donegal. There's a few interesting ideas floating about, so it'd be fantastic. I mean, as close as we can get to Omagh, it'd be fantastic.
It's weird in some ways, and obviously I know there's a hospital here, but because of jurisdiction with the BUI and the British Boxing Board, you nearly think it'd be possible, like you could do.
45 minutes from Letterkenny, but it's a different board, so it kind of kicks in the way. It's a different board, different country as such. So I think that's the reason why. But at the end of the day, like, we'd love to fight in our hometown, and if that can. The more we talk about it, maybe it might come into fruition. So it's fantastic. It's very early on in our careers, we've always been shut down about fighting in our hometown. But there's a lot of other people who might have thought they would have been fighting in their hometown. So if the more we talk about it, it might come to fruition. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to put it out there and see.
For you, I guess yourself personally, obviously, you're able to move on from obviously the Ben Crocker fight. Like, it's funny. Me and you talked obviously after Sean McComb was robbed in America. You were robbed in York Hall, and probably hasn't been so much said of it online from people. Like, you were robbed. You wanted the rematch. Ben Crocker obviously probably rightfully took a Sean McComb fight, because if he'd have won, they would have moved on further. But
rightfully as well, because have you seen his face after my fight and seen his face after Sean McComb? I mean, I would have took a Sean McComb fight myself. You know what I mean? It's no disrespect to Sean. Sean's a master boxer, but he doesn't punch as hard as me. At the end of the day, you'd want to take the less violent fight. And look, he managed to drop Sean in the first round, but then Sean just managed to then come back, get into his groove, seen what he was doing wrong, and that's very good. That's a good thing about what Sean has. He's able to switch it up, and he knew what he was doing wrong, switch it up in the fight. So look, hats off to Sean. He has he's got the ABF European belt now. I've put that part of my career to bed. I just want to move on, get some titles under my belt. At the end of the day, I would love to get the rematch with Ben Crocker, but he doesn't have promotion. I have a promotion, and he's no belt. So where's he going to go? You know what I mean? So we'll see what comes next.
A few people have obviously commented to me on obviously certain posts, and I'm not sort of trying to stir the pot here, but they maybe looked at the potential of you and Sean. These are both with GBM,
There's been loads of people have tried to stir the pot with that. At the end of the day, Sean is at that level. The only reason he took a step back down to, I wouldn't say my level, because I believe that I am on the level of Sean McComb. I know a few people might not think so, but I am on that level, as it showed in my fight with Ben Crocker and his fight with Ben Crocker. I think it stood well to me, him fighting Ben Crocker and the fight going the way it is. So at the end of the day, I believe I'm on that level, and look, Sean's world level, as they say. If that's world level, I'm world level.
It's one of them, isn't it? Like, it's one that can build. Like, obviously, I know Sean's out in Monaco in December. If there's a potential that GBM are looking at doing an Irish domestic fight, which what it would be, obviously, between you and Sean. We've seen so many domestic fights. There was 3 or 4 last week. 3 or 4 last week in Dublin. Like, we've seen that they sell, and if GBM want to come into the Irish market, whether it be Belfast, whether it be Dublin, whether it be anywhere on this island, that's a perfect sort of fight if they want to come here.
Take a look out there in the night. I said to Jason beforehand, I said that's like a GBM event right there. And GBM are known for doing the best events, bar the top guys in UK boxing. Boxer, Matchroom and Queensbury. They are the top level, and they're just like that stage level under them. And then GBM put on great shows, the Matchroom level shows, and this is like that. I swear to God, it is like that. That's packed out there. It's packed with supporters of Callum in my mind. At the end of the day, why not again? Keep building that base, keep bringing big shows back here to the north of Ireland and Donegal. At the end of the day, all we want to do is fight in front of our friends and family.
Yeah, that's a big thing, because people's been going over to Brighton and watching you fight, and obviously Callum and Belfast. Like, people spend a lot of money, and I know you have a couple of ones that came from America.
Exactly. I'm going to give them a shout out, Joe and Sandy McConnell. They came over. They live in Kiwa Island, but they're originally from Pennsylvania. Really, really good people. They came over and see me fight in Coventry. Really big supporters of boxing, not just boxing, Irish boxing as well. He keeps up to date with everything, and at the end of the day, those supporters mean everything to me and Callum. Who would have thought? People coming over from America to watch us, rather than us going to support people in America. It's absolutely brilliant, and to have them, and they're a beautiful family. I'm so grateful for them, and I actually owe a lot to them. I really do, because if it weren't for them, at the end of the day, mightn't have been fighting here tonight, mightn't be fighting in my last fight. They're my biggest supporters, apart from my family, my biggest supporters. So it's great to have them along our side as well.
What would you like next? Sort of, I said, if obviously as he's sort of phoning you tomorrow and goes, what do you want to do next? Back in the title action, obviously you've had that first taste where you've been robbed, where you should be an ABF European champion. Like, what does Tiernan Bradley want next?
Look, at the end of the day, I was only called to be on the show in 2 weeks. So we're only confirmed on the show 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I'm my brother's wedding last week, so I've been training flat out, but I hadn't heard anything. So at the end of the day, I don't think there's any shows before Christmas, but I'd like to probably get back out then, step up in another opponent, maybe just step on another opponent and then get back in for a title shot, because I don't see myself fighting for a title before Christmas, but we'd like to get that after Christmas, maybe in a big fight. Who knows? Maybe an all-Irish fight, maybe in Ireland versus England. Who knows? I've already had Ireland versus England with Kurt Jackson. I had Ireland against Wales, with Ben Crocker. So you never know. We're going to have something else.
There's definitely plenty of options out there, and that's what you want. But even though you didn't get the decision over Ben Crocker, you've shown that you're above that level. So that gives you confidence moving forward.
At the end of the day, a loss is one of them things where like I think I would rather get beat, because then I'm thinking to myself, all right, I have to go in back into training and work on stuff. I wasn't good enough. But with a draw, and when you thinking you won, you're like, well, I was good enough, but I just didn't get it. So I had to change my mindset into thinking I lost, so I could actually just continue. Because at the end of the day, like I said this earlier on, I actually surprised myself the way I put it. There's not many things I haven't experienced in boxing, and a draw was one of them. So I see it as a learning curve now. That's just one more thing that I can, use to my advantage.
Well, look, congratulations, obviously, on a stunning performance tonight. We'll let you go and get shower and get changed before Callum's in for the main event.
I'll be in Callum's corner cheering him on, so I'll be in giving him a bit of help now.
Thanks as always for your time, Tiernan.
Appreciate it.
Cheers, thank you.